Unusual families that actually exist. From a family that should probably be behind bars to another known for being the largest in the world. Today, we're going to talk about 6 of the most unusual families ever. Number 1. Let me introduce you to the Colt family, also known as the Colt clan. This Australian family was discovered in 2013 after a young girl was found in the woods, pregnant. Rumors quickly spread that the baby she was carrying might have been fathered by her own older brother. From that shocking discovery, police launched a deeper investigation, and what they uncovered was disturbing. A clan of nearly 40 members, spanning grandparents, parents, children, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, brothers and sisters, all connected by the same bloodline. But how is that even possible? How could an entire family share the same blood unless they were involved with each other, almost like something out of Game of Thrones? It all reportedly began when 2 siblings emigrated to Australia. Struggling to connect with outsiders, they started a relationship that should never have happened. That twisted beginning continued for 4 generations. The entire family lived in terrible conditions. Their home was made of tin sheets, with no running water, no electricity, and surrounded by filth. Many of the children suffered from deformities and mental health issues, yet one strict rule was always followed. Marriage and children could only happen within the family. And honestly, I'll leave it at that. Number 2. This next story is truly unbelievable. Many years ago, an Australian man named John Deves, 30 years old at the time, abandoned his family when his daughter Jenny was just 1 year old. She grew up without a father, never knowing the man who had helped bring her into the world. Jenny's childhood wasn't easy, but thanks to her mother, who played both roles, she learned how to stand on her own. Decades later, at the age of 37, Jenny met a charming man, 61 years old, and quickly fell in love. They started a life together, a life that would soon reveal a disturbing truth. The man she had fallen for was none other than her biological father, John Deves. Despite the shocking revelation, John and Jenny claimed they were deeply in love. They chose to stay together and even had 3 children, 1 daughter and 2 sons. Of course, their relationship drew outrage, legal charges, and countless ethical questions. Yet they remained in what many would call their twisted bubble of love. It seems Jenny conveniently forgot one thing. This man had abandoned her once before. Number 3. Now, let me ask you this. If I told you that a black family had children who were all white, would you believe me? Most people would probably tell the father to get a paternity test, right? Well, he did. And every single one of those kids is, in fact, his. Meet Rosamir Fernanda de Andrade, an Afro-Brazilian woman who, the first time she saw her newborn daughter, thought there had been some kind of mistake. After all, she was dark-skinned, and her baby was pale, with blonde hair and blue eyes. But the doctor quickly explained. Her daughter had albinism, a rare genetic condition that affects about 1 in every 17,000 people worldwide. Rosamir went on to have more children, and once again, the impossible happened. 2 more of her babies were born with the same condition. In total, she had 6 children, and all 6 were born with albinism. Even geneticists were stunned. A professor from the University of Pernambuco explained that for this to happen, both parents must carry the gene that causes albinism, which then gives each child only a 1 in 4 chance of being born with it. The odds of this happening repeatedly in the same family are astronomically low, yet this case is absolutely real. Number 4. In the mountain village of Baktang Tlangnuam, in the state of Mizoram in northeast India, bordering Myanmar and Bangladesh, there's a rather unusual tourist attraction that has drawn hundreds of visitors. It's believed to be the largest family in the world. 39 wives, 94 children, 14 daughters-in-law, and 33 grandchildren. Now that's what you call a big family. The head of this massive household is 73 years old. He's also the leader of a Christian sect called Chana Powell, which was founded by his father in June 1942. The sect, which has around 400 families, believes that one day it will rule the world with the help of Christ, and it permits polygamy. The world's largest family all live under the same roof, inside a 4-story home with 100 rooms. Their huge compound includes a recreation ground that looks like a stadium, carpentry workshops, pig and chicken farms, and even a vegetable garden. Together with donations from sect members, these resources help sustain the clan's enormous appetite. On average, they go through about 65 pounds of potatoes, 220 pounds of rice, and around 30 chickens every single day. Without a doubt, this is one of the most unusual families in the world. Number 5. This next case comes from Russia, and it's almost unbelievable. At first glance, they looked like an ordinary family: a father, a mother, and their 2 daughters. But behind that image of normality was something far darker, because every single one of them was involved in serious crimes. Authorities estimate that the family was connected to the deaths of at least 30 people, including women and children. The mother had a long history of thefts and other offenses, while her daughter Victoria also followed in her footsteps. As for the father and the other daughter, well, their crimes were even worse, doubling down on what the rest of the family had already done. What made them so dangerous wasn't just what they did, but how they managed to hide in plain sight. They looked like the perfect family: a father, a mother, and 2 daughters, explained Vladimir Markin, head of Russia's investigative police. No one could have imagined that, when together, they were actually plotting crimes. Their reign finally came to an end after they broke into the home of a retired soldier. Police arrived suddenly. The mother and her daughter Anastasia surrendered, while the father and the other daughter tried to escape on a motorcycle, but they were intercepted on the road. For years, this family lived as if they were above the law, but in the end, even their perfect disguise couldn't save them. Number 6. And finally, let's end this list with one of the most bizarre cases of all. Lyneth, a woman from the United States, was in very poor health. Because of this, her 26-year-old son, Phil Bailey, was sent to find his grandmother, a 72-year-old woman with whom he didn't have the best relationship. But since he had no one else, he really had no choice. A few days later, Lyneth passed away. Grieving and left without anyone else, Phil tried to reconnect with his grandmother, his only remaining family. At first, things seemed normal. They went shopping together, played bowling, and even shared meals. But then, their relationship took a shocking turn. Instead of just building a family bond, Phil and his grandmother began a romantic relationship. Yes, you heard that right. And as disturbing as it sounds, they've been together for over 3 years now. What makes this even more unbelievable is that they recently announced they're looking for a surrogate mother with an open mind, so they can purchase an egg, use Phil's sperm, and have a child. Which means Phil would not only be the baby's father, but also its uncle. And his grandmother would be both the child's great-grandmother and mother at the same time. I don't know about you, but after hearing this, I'm starting to lose a little faith in humanity.